And I'm going to show my video from Saturday night that put the remedy away for the season. So if I cry a little bit, don't console me. Just being real.
That, my friends, is what you call a runaway. That is a diesel runaway, and it's minus example. Tough break right there for Jason on the remedy. Come on, station at 356 and 90, 35.
It was 3.5 seconds in real life, Charles. I've counted it multiple times.
I'm sure you have. And like I told you before we went live, you did everything absolutely right in the cage to react to it. And props also to the Outlaw guys. That's a Scott Doty level of response time to be all over this thing and be in control of situations. So, yeah. I mean, it sucks what happened, but the reaction to it was perfect. No one did anything wrong.
I had a couple people tell me that if it ever happens again,
durability in modern workwear is table stakes.
Once this ad plays, I'll skip it here, guys.
For the past 5 years, the T2 work pan is
they said I could jack the throttle a couple times. I had a couple pullers tell me that, and then maybe clutch it a couple times. But I hope this never happens again, obviously. But I don't know, Besser, did this ever happen to you on the Light Pro pump sticking?
Thankfully, no.
Yeah. I mean, we've all seen it. I mean, Cody and Ryan as photographers, Charles.
Injection pump split all the way horizontally. This is all loose. Blew a hole in right there. The pump stuck, and then blew the turbo after that. I gotta see what the turbo looks like. Come around the front, you can see the color's gone.
So I think that, Charles, I think when it comes,
right here.
I think it blew and they're starting to guillotine at the same time.
Yeah, that was the only piece in that video when I saw that the other night that concerned me was that the guillotine didn't shut all the way. But I think with the Charger exploding,
separated,
something lodged it, and it wasn't gonna.
Yeah, and there's plenty of pieces in there.
Yeah. Over and get that side. Put the cast part. Dent there. And she split.
In a way, in terms of how it failed, I'm kind of actually glad that it was the compressor side that blew apart and not the turbine, because that would have made a big mess.
Yep, I'm hoping, like I said, I'm hoping a ton didn't get into the motor. So we'll just have to see once we tear it down and look everything over. But I didn't wipe it down, nothing. I just pushed it in the trailer because my winch broke too. So I had to go get a guy on a wall to push me in.
Rains and pours.
But I had Roos over there guarding the tractor for a while. So it's all good.
That was kind of curious too that injector line broke. But I think it had more to do with the housing breaking.
That's what Tony thinks too. Just from the pure violation, the detonation of it. So yeah, it was quite an ordeal. So, but I'm still not mad at Wisner, Nebraska. I've never been there, and that place is legit. So it's Monday night, August 22nd. Everybody, welcome to Let's Go Pulling. I'm Jason Schultz. Charles Post there in the middle. On the bottom left, Cody Vanderholm Media, and then Ryan Rusink, bottom right. Our special guests tonight are Nate Fisher and Brandon Besser from Ogilvie, Minnesota. It is Brandon's hometown pull. And Nate is I want to get you guys bigger. Nate is our general manager of the Ogilvie Raceway. Gentlemen, welcome to Let's Go Pulling Live. We're excited to help you promote your event this coming Friday at the Raceway. I guess Brandon, Colin Burkholz is the only person who knows who you are because he already said hi on here. Did you see that comment, Besser? So
Nathan had just mentioned somebody said hi. I didn't get to see who it was.
okay, it's Burkholz, one of your fellow Light Pro compadres. So
Yeah, there he is.
Yep, popped up there. So for those of people that don't know who you are, Brandon, kind of give us who you are and your pulling history and the Light Pro stock you pull and stuff like that.
Yeah, we run From Ashes Light Pro stock. Got started here, I think 2018 was our first year out. And we've been helping Nate promote the pull here at Ogilvie since 2009 when the racetrack opened.
I got pictures of it, of yours. No. Do you have any recent photos on your Facebook page?
Me, I don't have Facebook. You'll have to talk to Mary.
Okay.
Go to Mary's profile. I think I've probably posted something, maybe from Ship.
I'll find it. I want to find it with the new paint job on it. That's what I'm looking for. I'll keep doing that. I got some short videos on Mary's page. Give me a second. I'm going to cue this up for you guys real quick, and then we'll talk to Nate, and then we'll start talking about Ogilvie, Minnesota. If you're going to Ogilvie, Minnesota, the tractor pull this Friday, let us know in the comments. If you have any questions for Nate or Brandon, please type them in the comments as well. That's what it's all about getting the word out about these great events coming up. Where was this at, Brandon?
That might have been at the racetrack here last year. Nope. I'm not 100% sure where that one was at.
Well, when you're a big star and you pull all over, it's hard to keep track of everything, Brandon.
Yeah.
It happens. Nate, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us about what you do at the raceway, and then we'll start talking about the pull a little bit.
Well, I'm the general manager here at Ogilvie Raceway. I've been here since it opened in 2009. We typically specialize in dirt track oval racing. We run Wisner sanctioned races here weekly. But right when the first year we opened, Brandon and his dad came to us and proposed we should do a pull here in Ogilvie, and we jumped on board, and we've been doing it every year ever since. So on our 14th season this year.
Nice. Thank you for being a promoter of pulling. We appreciate that. We can't have fun without you guys.
Right. Thank you.
I got the poster up on the screen right now. I'm kind of blocking your face a little bit, but that's okay. People want to see the poster anyway, right?
That's all right.
It'll be okay. But again, This Friday, let's see, NTPA and then United Pullers of Minnesota classes, Super Stock 4-wheel drive, 2-wheel drive, Pro Farm, and the 4-1s, limited pros, nice. And then unsanctioned classes is going to have some 12,000 hot farms. You guys have some mean farm stocks in Minnesota. I always say, and I always do this, farm stock in quotations. 16.5 farm, that's one I want to see. Because I love going to YouTube and finding those videos. 12,000 farm stock, and then an 85 open diesel pickups. Now, Mary said I was promoting that wrong on Instagram, Brandon. What did we say wrong? I think we said open and diesel pickups, but it's just
it's 8,500 open tractor and then stock diesel pickup.
Okay, so that's I think we put 85
and then we
open.
need to put the quotations in for stock diesel pickup again.
Stock diesel.
Yeah, just like that.
And again, everything starts at what time on Friday night?
Gates open at 5. The poll starts at 7.
Okay. And then are you going to run the unsanctioned first, or do they run after the UPM and TPA stuff?
No, we're going to run the unsanctioned stuff first. We'll start off with either pickups or tractor class. We haven't decided yet.
Yep. That sounds good. Okay, so where's
Ogilvie? Our way into the big show.
Yeah, where is Ogilvie, Minnesota at? What's it close to, Nate or Brandon?
We're about an hour north of the Twin Cities.
Okay.
So if people are familiar with like the Cambridge area, we're about a half hour north of Cambridge.
Okay, so like is Hutch close by?
Hutchinson be southwest.
Yeah, southwest, about an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes.
Okay, so it's that far off then. Okay.
Yep. Most people are familiar with Mille Lacs Lake. We're 20 miles straight south of the big pond.
Gotcha. If anybody has any questions, okay. Burkholt says that's Webster City in 2020. That's where you're pulling, Besser.
Yep, I thought of that after thinking about it. That's where it was. Yep.
Colin's like our little Rain Man. He has all the answers to all the stuff. So.
Yep, just put something out there. Colin will give you the answer.
Yep. Well, his tractor's on the billboard for Toma, so he's kind of a big deal. That's all I'm gonna say. So.
We'll knock him off of that billboard eventually.
Attaboy.
Blake, Mary.
Hi.
Hold on, we got to show Mary. Hold on. She's really nice. How are you? Wave to everybody, Mary. Can you sing us national anthem right now? Actually, Charles, should we start opening Let's Go Pulling with the national anthem?
Yeah, we got to restart and have her do it because she does it better than anybody.
Yeah. Okay. Are you going to be singing this Friday night at the Raceway, Mary?
I guess it's up to Nathan.
No, that's up to you.
Yes, I will.
Okay, fair enough.
It will be good. I promise. If you're there, it will be good.
We're inviting all the 85 open diesel trucks we can because you're doing sign up, is what we were told, Mary.
Yeah. I actually have a lot of pre-registered. I was just writing them down. I must have about 15 guys that have contacted me already via Messenger and said, hey, we're going to be there. So that helps. If anybody else can let me know they're coming early or can't make it here at 6 o'clock, give me a shout on Messenger. Private message me.
Yeah, and Friday nights are tough too. I mean, it's you're working or you leave late in the afternoon. It's harder for people to get there. I think we all respect that as pullers and have seen that there before. So I totally get that.
If they just drop me a line or even call me the night of and let me know they're going to be there so I can get them on the schedule and we can get things rolling.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Mary.
Thank you.
Nate, with this being, you guys having 14 years of this, has the crowd just been growing over time? Did it start off good right away, or did you kind of have to grow it? What's been the history of the pull and the success of it?
You know, the crowds and stuff of, you know, it's hit and miss. You know, we played around with a few dates. We've switched dates a few times to hit some better times, and so I mean I think, and then you know for a couple of years there we ran a bigger NTPA style event, and we've had some issues with some rainouts and weather related stuff. But I think now the recipe we got going now is going pretty good. The date works out well. So I think the crowds have been decent.
Good. Well, that's good to hear.
A bang the first year. We had pretty good turnout, and then it kind of went downhill, but we've been building back here now in the last, well, I'd like to say the last 3 years, but we've had 3 rainouts in a row here. So.
Right.
Yeah. The weather is the single most frustrating thing about an event. You can, because you literally work on these things all year round, and then something pops up on the radar and bang, you're out. It's no good. You can't pull on slick dirt. It makes no sense. It makes no sense.
Can't race on it either, so I got to do it 36 times a year.
Yep. That takes the fun out of it. So Let's talk about the Raceway a little bit. Did you say it opened 14 years ago?
Yep, 2009 it opened. Yep, May of 2009.
Okay. And then so I'm not Charles and Cody kind of know racing. I don't. You said something about WISSOTA. I don't even know what any of that means, Nate.
Yeah, so there's 4 major sanctioning bodies in the United States, and we're WISSOTA sanctioned. They're kind of more the Minnesota, Wisconsin, South Dakota, North Dakota, Montana, Canada. So we run 6 WISSOTA classes every week. We run a modified class, a super stock, Midwest Mod 4s, street stocks, and Hornets.
Now, are you able to build a pulling track and not make the racers mad, and still build a good enough pulling track that the pullers aren't mad? Because that's always that's what's so hard about a Raceway track, right?
It's a complete separate surface for the pull track as far as
nice.
The race.
Good for you guys. That is awesome.
Good.
That is awesome. Again, if you're just joining us, Nate Fisher, General Manager of the Ogilvie, Minnesota Raceway. Brandon Besser, hometown puller there. Their pull is this Friday night at the Raceway. We've been sharing the poster on Beer Money last week, and we'll be sharing it all this week as well and getting things out here. I'm on their Facebook page right now. So I'll click into the photos here, and we'll thump through some of these. So here's our poster for the event this week. We've been talking about that. Again, so if you're like a hot farm guy, a 12,000 hot farm, 16.5 farm stock, 12,000 farm stock, 85 open tractor, or a diesel pickup, you're going to sign up separately of NTPA or UPM, and then it sounds like Mary's doing the sign up on that, Brandon's wife, and she said she's already had 16. Yep, got to deal with her. Could be worse. Could be worse. But you can go to ogilvieraceway.com and check that out as well. So these are some of the race. My computer will work. So here is that turn 1 or is that turn 4?
That's turn 1.
Okay. Oh, high banks.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
What,
So what class would this be right there that I'm looking at, Nate?
That's the super stock class. Or, yeah, those are the super stocks.
Okay.
Those are also super stocks. Yeah. Those are our. We also have a go-kart track on the infield for Thursday night. We run go-karts. So that's our.
Do you have go-karts for fat white guys?
No, all kid stuff.
Oh, okay. Just checking because I would like to challenge Paul. Like
You build
Paul
one,
Romack.
Jason. You build one. Maybe you and I could start a class for fat white guys.
2 weekends ago, we had our kids' bike night. We gave away 111 bikes.
Awesome. Alan Ulmer wants to know, Ogilvie, does Hot Carl race there, Nate?
He does. Yes, Hot Carl has a reserved concrete pit spot here. Yes, he races here weekly.
How does one get a name, Hot Carl?
You name yourself, I guess.
Okay, so we're going to go around the panel right now. Brandon, if you were going to name yourself, Brandon, what would you name yourself?
Oh, let's not go there. I'm not sure it's appropriate for Let's Grow Pulling.
Well, we've had Growing Corn 2020 Tony Reed on, so honestly, anything goes. But we are showing kids bikes right now, so we should name ourselves. So, Nate, do you have what would your track name be?
Just Nate.
Just Nate.
Yep.
Charles, would you be the Stig or what would you be?
I was always told to use, and this applies to another category that I won't identify because this is a family show, but to use your middle name and then the street in front of your house. So I guess I'm Michael St. Clair.
Okay. So my middle name, and then what? The street I live on?
The street you live on.
Okay. So I'm Michael Rainbow Drive. That's my racing name.
I think Kaboom is probably a better name.
Kaboom. Yeah, that could be
Kaboom.
Jason Kaboom. So,
Jason, you're the bomb.
Yeah, I'm the bomb. Oh, I love it. Ryan, middle name and street you live on.
I guess I would probably be. How the hell did I mind blank on the street that I live on?
Yeah, and your middle name. I'm a little nervous.
I've got that part.
I know you drink during the show, but wow, buddy.
Shut up.
Do you pre-drink?
No.
No.
No. Give me a minute. It's coming to me.
He moved recently.
Why?
I think I can name the street that you live on.
Well, then do so, please, because I'm apparently an idiot and I can't figure it out.
It's the one that he grew up on.
No, the one you grew up on?
I thought that's what it was.
Oh, I
think it's whatever the password hackers want it to be.
Well, if it's the one you grew up on, for me, it's still the same street. So
there you go.
I'd be Michael Doran. I grew up on Doran Drive in Victor, Iowa. So I'd be Michael. Michael Doran's got a nice ring to it. I like that. All right, Cody, middle name and the street you grew up on.
I guess it would be Chris O, because there's O Avenue. So
Chris O. I like that. I hope somebody's writing these down. Romack, what would you be?
Paul Oak Street.
Paul Oak Street. Yeah, Hot Carl still got a cool ring. Brandon, what's your middle name and the street you grew up on, Brandon?
Lee, 160th Avenue.
Yeah. So funny story. Like if I grew up out, even a half mile west of here, outside of town, I wouldn't be Michael St. Clair. I'd be Michael 32 Mile Road, and it doesn't have the same ring.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Nate, what's your middle name?
It would be John Delta.
Ooh,
Oh,
that's something. Now that's right up there with Hot Carl. I like that.
Yeah.
I love how Omer always comes up with the cool stuff. That's what he does. So it's all
Hey
good.
guys, I can play now.
Okay,
It would be Scott Hayden.
Scott Hayden.
That's a legit.
that works.
Okay, everybody that's watching the show right now, type in your middle name and the street you grew up on. Let's see if we get some good ones because we usually get. This is how we get into like. I live in Intercourse, Pennsylvania. This is typically where this goes. So I just want to be here. I got to get Nate. I got to warn Nate a little bit about that. So
That's all right.
Scott Pine. That's what Russ Dostal says. I like that. From a
Collins is like a sideshow nickname. What is that?
Ray Midway, all solid. Matt Caster says Oscar Wahlberg. Kind of like, okay, I like that. Ray Short. This looks like a Kiss song, Ray Beth Haven. That's something Gene Simmons would sing. So, James Broadway. Oh, here, I like this one. Andrew Holland.
There we go.
That's money.
Winner.
That's money.
Winner.
From henceforth, James Phillips
this guy
will be
didn't
known as
understand the
Hollywood.
assignment. Or no. I thought that said North Carolina. North Carolina?
Well, that's how they say it.
Okay. Kenneth East. Alan Woodchuck. Edward 750 North. That's kind of funny.
That sounds like a dirty website.
Is Adam Highway 22 like the knockoff version of Adam 12?
Yes.
Could be. It could be. Nate,
7,
as
Mary,
a racetrack manager, do you get to go to many polls a year? Or is this kind of the one poll you get to go to every year? The home track one.
Yeah, this is pretty much the poll I attend every year. I don't get out much to any other polls. We're pretty busy around here with the weekly racing. So
Nice. Do you have any specific of the classes you're having? Nate, do you get involved in the classes, or you just kind of leave that up to Besser to pick them?
I mean, I have a little input, but I pretty much leave it up to them guys because they know the polling better than I do. So I just get the facility ready and I prepare the track and get that all ready to set to go, and then then we take it from there.
So as a GM of a racetrack, like, do you see a different crowd, like different faces at the truck and tractor pull, or do you see some crossover from your racing fans to come to the truck and tractor pull, Nate?
Very little crossover. It's a pretty diverse, its own crowd, 100%.
Okay. Who drinks more beer, pull-in fans or racing fans?
Sprint car fans.
Really?
No, the pull-in fans are up there. The pull-in fans and sprint car fans are probably neck and neck.
I think the first season we had the pull here, he had to call the beer truck for the race the next night because the pullers drank all the beer.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
So
it
could definitely be some good drinkers.
Oh, that's good. So the sprint cars are like the Knoxville, Iowa ones, right?
Yep.
Okay.
You have to drink a lot to drive a staggered tire birdcage with a methanol swilling V8 in it.
Yeah.
With no transmission.
Yeah.
And
Charles coming through. I like Eugene Ethel. That's actually a pretty legit name right there. Old Terry Roof. That's a good one. That's up there with Hot Carl. So I like that. Lynn Center. Lee Bartlett. These are good names. We're going to have to do this again.
Ulmer, what's yours? Put yours in.
Who? Alan?
Yeah.
I already did.
Ulmer
did?
I was thinking, scroll back up.
I'm looking. Nope. All he talked about was Hot Carl. If you sell every seat in the house, Nate, how many people do you hold there at the Ogilvie Raceway?
3,765.
That's very specific. Thank you very much for that. How many seats do you sell it out for the races?
Not every week. I mean, there's a few shows per year that we pack it up pretty full, and there ain't much available.
What brings the biggest crowds in?
School bus race night is by far the winner right now.
I saw that poster. That is the bomb. Do you drive a school bus, Nate, at all?
I do actually for a living in the wintertime, but not for racing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to keep your job, Nate.
No,
if you drove it
no.
like those guys do. Here we go. Yep. How many times you guys have school buses a year?
Just once.
Okay. We need to attend that. Beer Money Pulling Team needs to attend that next year. Okay.
Well, maybe we should build you a bus.
Yeah. It's a 466 International, right, Paul? We could put a turbo on that.
We can do a lot.
We can do a lot.
If you weren't so hard on your tractor, you could have just came with that on Friday night.
I could have.
I foresee a lot of pillow blocks on your drive shaft. That's all I'm saying.
I'll volunteer to drive it too.
Yeah, I actually got to pull it. There was a group of guys, I don't know if they're still running or not, but they had 4 or 5 buses, and I got to pull one up by Green Bay. I forgot the name of that town. But it had a Super Farm turbo on it. It boogied. I was pretty impressed. So. It doesn't sound as cool though when you're spooling a school bus, but that's all I'm gonna say.
Well, it's not a school bus, it's a spool bus.
A spool bus.
Right. And the only
Brandon,
reason
what
it
kind
didn't sound that cool is because it wasn't a big enough charger.
Needs to be a short bus. Yeah, short wheelbase. I like that. Besser, what kind of local sponsorship do you get to support your pull, bud?
We got quite a few here. The local livestock auction company, actually my uncle runs that. They normally put in a pretty good chunk. Nate's got a couple other ones here. Minnesota Equipment, John Deere dealer out of Isani, south of us. East Central Corn Growers Group usually donates a little bit. Thomas Snow Sports, the local Articat dealer. It's kind of a trend here. Another relative, my mom actually owns that. Her and her husband Tom. Arnold's the St. Cloud, the Case IH dealer. And then Mary and I do a bunch to help Nate out here too. So
that's awesome. Well, it takes an army to do something like this. You know that. So
yeah, and some.
Well, is there anybody else you guys want to thank tonight, or anything else you want to let people know before we let you go?
One thing I'd like everybody to know, so being the UPM group is here in Minnesota, the Light Pro and Limited Pro can run together in the Limited Pro class. Anybody looking for a Light Pro hook on Friday night, we'd even accommodate you if you wanted to come and hook a couple times. We'd run the 85 Open right away to start off the night, and then run the Limited Pros at the end of the night. You could hop in and run with them. So
awesome.
Light Pro gets to run the Limited Pro class here at 9,000 pounds. So anybody looking to hook, if you want to come hook UPM class on Friday night, we'd be glad to have you.
And UPM is state level of NTPA, right? For Minnesota?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Kind of like what Badger State is to PPL is what UPM is to NTPA, correct?
Correct.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Nate, you got anything else tonight?
Not really. I mean, the biggest people that I got to thank is just the Besser family, because this poll wouldn't happen if it wasn't for them guys. So I mean, that's pretty much all I got to thank. And then most of these sponsors have been with us for 10, 12, the whole 14 years. So I mean, it's a good relationship all the way around, and everybody enjoys the poll. So I just hope to continue it for years to come.
And then the one thing we always ask is no carry-ins, right? You have everything the fans need at the stands and the food stands and the beer stands, correct?
Yep, no carry-ins. We got full concessions in the building. We got a concession trailer outside with Highland Oasis smoothies, and we got beer and seltzers and Modelo's, and we got you covered on everything.
Cool. And what's your favorite beer, Nate? Free?
None. Vodka.
Vodka? That a boy. Ryan, ask Besser your question, then we'll let these guys go. We're going to bring Dirk on from Highland.
All right. Besser, you probably know this question already. You know it's coming. If you could steal the keys to anything for a weekend and take it pulling, past or present, what would you take pulling, and where would you pull, and why?
Does it have to be one?
Yes, it has to be one.
Oh, boy.
Ooh, right.
Well, if I was going to take something for a weekend, it'd probably have to be a pro stock.
And which one?
Boy, that makes it even harder when I have to pick one.
Hey,
Well,
Besser.
not really, because you're a red guy, are you not?
I would probably like to take a trip down the track at Toma or Bowling Green with Barty Nelson's Pro Stock.
Shredded red?
Shredded red.
Nicely
Actually, a little quick story on that. So most people know the story on our tractor, how it was named. We lost the beginning of what the tractor was supposed to be in a fire and had to start over. And through looking for replacement parts and everything else, our tractor has the dreaded red rear end in it.
Nice.
That was what we found to start building the From Ashes tractor. That's how it started coming back together, was the rear end off of Marty's tractor.
That's awesome.
Super cool. Super cool. Well, Nate, Brandon, best of luck. Thank you for promoting pulling. Without you guys, we can't come show up and put on a show for the fans. We hope you have a good crowd and everything goes safe. So.
Yeah, thank you for doing this for us too. Also.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Have a good night, guys.
Hopefully we'll see you soon.
See you soon.
Hey, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
We have the Dirk Drury with us now from Highland, Wisconsin. Dirk, first of all, the coolest thing happened to you this year. You got a new kidney. That's kind of cool. So
I got a new kidney and a new pancreas.
Oh, can you spell pancreas,
Wow.
Dirk?
It starts with a P.
I'm gonna share this to the Facebook page really quick on Badger State. If somebody else wants to talk to Dirk, we don't have that silent time there. So look at Amy peeking in around the corner. We see you, Amy Drury, from the
Photobomb.
worldwide headquarters in Highland, Wisconsin. So I'm gonna throw the poster up there quick on there, and then I'm gonna share this to Badger State, and we're gonna start talking. Let's see here. Where am I at? Brand. Dirk, what's your middle name and the street you grew up on?
Allen 80.
Ooh, Allen 80. I like that. I like that a lot. Well, Dirk, I'm gonna share this to the Badger State Facebook page right now. I mean, let's talk about how Highland got started. I mean, I know it's your hometown pull. Kind of give us a history of it. I know it kind of started out, for lack of better terms, you guys just had a really big brush pull it got real popular, and then you brought on Badger State, and it's kind of like the Field of Dreams. If you've never been to Highland, you pop over this hill, and all of a sudden there's this big valley, and it's full of people. I was super impressed the first time I went down there. So, Dirk, take over, buddy.
Well, it actually started back in 2010. The rodeo and a guy named Dave Gates put on like a farm stock pole and a little too hot to farm, and they ran it that way for 2 years. And I think it was 2012, Dave Gates, he decided to take it over himself, and he run a few hotter classes, if you would say, and he did that for probably 4 or 5 years. And he called me up one year and wanted to know if I could come up and help with the pull, because I had been with Badger State. This is my 28th year now. And he just wanted some advice on building the track and how to set it up. So I said, yeah, I can do that. And each year it got a little better and a little more people. And I bet the first year we didn't have 200 people there. And so then 2020 rolls around and everybody canceled their polls. And we said, it's August. Everybody wants to see a poll. They had a rodeo there the month before, which the town let them have a rodeo. So we said, you know what? We're going to have a poll. So I called a bunch of my Badger State pulling friends, and we had, what did we have there that year?
Logan, stop.
We had Limited Pro, Light Pro, Super Farm, 466, and even a few Pro stock showed up.
Yes, you did.
And we had 4,000 wristbands, and we ran out of wristbands.
It was crazy.
At 5:30 in the afternoon.
It was crazy.
And I'm guessing we had a little over 5,000 people there.
the food, your food stands, Dirk. I felt so bad for those people. It was insane. It was insane. So
yeah, it was unbelievable, and we just hit it out of the park that year because we were the only tractor pull within 50, 60 mile radius, and the fans wanted to come see one, and the pullers wanted to pull. So and I was told by people, you'll never have that ever again. And last year was the first year we had Badger State there. It was a Badger State sanctioned pull.
Okay, so 2020 wasn't sanctioned Badger State, Dirk?
No.
You just ran Badger State rules.
Right.
Gotcha. That's right.
Right. So last year we had the first Badger State sanctioned pull there, and we got 7 inches of rain the night before. And I tell you what, I was so impressed with those guys. I got there, I had dialysis that morning, and I got there at 9 o'clock in the morning, 9:30, and I looked and I told Dave Gates, I said, there's no way we're going to have a pull here. There's just no way. I mean, we got water standing at the 300-foot mark. And he said, we're having a pull. And I had never seen so many volunteers and pumps and people everywhere doing everything they can to the track. And we were about a half hour late with our start time, but we had to pull. The track wasn't the best in the world, but we pulled it off and had a pull that night. And that was strictly due to all this help we have up there. Nobody does this alone. We've got a lot of young people that are really, really gung-ho about putting this pull on. And we're just trying to make it a little better, a little more professional every year. We add bleachers, we add lighting. 2 years ago, we added some different dirt to the track, and it's just blossomed, and I couldn't be happier with those guys.
It's a heck of a venue, Dirk, for those of you who haven't been there. It's worth checking out. And Highland, what is 500 people, 1,000 people, Dirk, the population?
Oh, Highland's about 800.
800.
Yeah.
So, and when you can bring, 4,000 people or so to your town, that's good for everybody. That's really good for everybody.
People keep asking, well, how does Highland get pro stocks? And they just want to come. It's kind of like going back 20 years the way pulling used to be. There's not no fanfare. It's just a local pull that everybody comes and has a good time. We sell a lot of beer and a lot of good food, and it's just a party.
Well, and we've all seen it, every single one of us. I mean, a good truck and tractor pull in a small town is almost as fun as a truck and tractor pull in a big town. I mean, to see the locals really rally and come out there and support it, you can get as many people there to, it's just a great feeling. And Highland has that natural feel, like the community really gets around it. And Dirk even said it, how they rally just to get the track ready last year, what it takes. And then, I mean, everybody, I always joked about if you ever want to rob a bank, that would be the night you do it,
Absolutely.
There's a Friday night football game. And that's what, I don't know, does Highland have a bank, Dirk? So.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So
we got a bank and we got a gas station.
Yeah.
We got a tire business, a hardware store, and a lumber yard.
See, you got it all.
And a small engine shop.
Hey, there's a car dealer there too, isn't there?
Yes, there is. Yep. But no, it's one of those. We're Don Slama of our JV team, if you want to put it that way.
Perfect.
Hillsboro's a small town too, and look what he did.
Yep, it's amazing. If you're just joining us, Dirk Drury is with us right now. He is one of the promoters and helpers of the Highland Nationals this Saturday at the Highland Rodeo Grounds, Highland, Wisconsin. They have local classes at 2:00. We've been posting there. We're promoting this for them, and then the Badger State show starts at 6 p.m. Now, Dirk, not everybody knows you like I know you, so I would like you to. I know you're the tech director for the Badger State Tractor Pullers, but let's go back to the beginning and let's talk about truck and tractor pulling and how did Dirk Drury get involved in it? I know there's some super farm you drive in with poppies. I want you to tell the whole world the whole story. So just go back to the beginning and let's just take this through. So
it goes back way before that.
Well, then let's do it. You don't have dialysis tomorrow. You got your new pancreas, your new kidneys, so you can party. So
at my high school year, I bought a 966.
Your high school year? You went to high school for 1 year, Drury?
No, my senior year.
Oh, I didn't hear that. I just heard my high school year. So,
but I bought a 966. And
What year was your senior year in high school, Mr. Drury?
1979.
Okay, fair. Cody, when were you born?
Huh?
When were you born, Cody?
10 years after that.
Okay.
1979.
Oh, Paul coming through. Okay, 966.
966, and we had a blacktop circuit. We had a pole in Highland on the street in front of the Catholic Church. We had a pole in Boscobel, and we had another pole in Blue River. And it was on blacktop. And I had a 966, and I went to my pole in Highland. The 1 year I was probably a junior or sophomore, and I just thought this would be awesome. So I took my 966, went to Dennis Fry when he worked up at Sun Prairie at Diesel Specialist, got a turbo, and he did a little pump work, and I started pulling blacktop for about 3-4 years. And then Lafayette County Fair, about 1982, first time I pulled on dirt, and that's all it took.
You're hooked.
You were hooked. I pulled in the 9,500-pound class. I got second place, and I was very mad because I was in the wrong gear. So I got a relative. His name was Louis Yeager. And I borrowed 1,000 pounds, put on my tractor, and I put 30 feet on the next tractor in that 11,000-pound class.
Did they tech you? They tech your fuel?
Oh, there was no teching back in. There were just a lot of hurt butts. And then in 1991, Don Poppy was part of the Super Farm with Bruce Womack, and he ended up buying Bruce's half out, but he needed a shop to work on. Because all he had was a machine shed with a dirt floor. I had a shop with a concrete floor. And he brought it up and wanted to know if he could rent or use my shop. And I started helping him work on the tractor. And we started with Badger State in the Super Farm class, and we also did some Tri-State. And that was back when Badger State ran 2 classes. They ran 9,500 and a 10.5. And Donnie would run the 9,500. And for me helping work on the tractor and helping get it to the poles, I got to drive the 10.5.
So this is 91.
91.
Okay, so was it Super Farm? What were the basic rules of that class then?
It was Super Farm, 3 in, 3 out, and I don't think the intercooler was around then.
Okay.
And we ran that for about 2-3 years, and then all of a sudden it became a 1 class. You know, you pulled once, you didn't hook twice. And that's when Donnie said, well, you know, and I told him, well, it's your tractor, you pull. And I'm standing around there doing nothing. So I thought, well, I might as well pick up a set of flags and, you know, help these guys out with the pull. And that was probably 95, somewhere in there. It might be 94, 96, whatever. But it was about that time. And it was me and Jim Lilburn. And we were the only 2 flagmen / tech officials that Badger State had for quite a few years. I mean, we did every one of them. And of course, back in them days, we might have had only 10, 12 poles. But it just kept growing from there. And it's, you know, like Greg Elsing says, when he first took over as president, we had a $1,900 points fund. And Greg had to take some of his own money and put into the organization to keep it afloat. But it just took off from there, and a lot of people pitched in and helped, and it was, now look at where it's at today.
It's amazing where it's at today. So was it case of foreclosure right away in 1991, or when did you guys put side shields on it and name it and stuff, Dirk?
It never had any side. It had side shields on, but it didn't really have a name. And the name was put on. Oh man, probably 2000.
Okay.
Is when Donnie did the paint job and everything, and we took the tractor and motor down to Connor Machine in Missouri, and he built a motor for it because Donnie called him and says, "Well, all we got is red and green up here. Can you make a case run?" And if anybody knows Ernie Connor, he said, "I can make anything run." So he built the motor, and then from then on, we pulled a case of foreclosure and went to Louisville. Got invited to Louisville about, can't think of what year, probably 2006, 2007. Broke the crankshaft, and it's pretty much been parked ever since. But Donnie still has it.
Can you tell us about all the people in the trailer at the truck stop jumping out on the way to Louisville? That's a funny story.
Oh, that story?
Yeah, please. The statute of limitations, Dirk, have wore off. You're safe.
Of course, we had a trailer, semi-trailer, and we had living quarters in the front. And we had a bunch of people from Highland, and that was the year Donnie got invited down to Louisville. So we had about 9 guys. They rode in the trailer, and to be legal, we had to have a CB in the trailer so they could communicate with me driving the semi. And it was me, my wife, and Kelly Elsing in the semi-tractor. And the guys, they were complaining they had to go to the bathroom, so we pulled in a truck stop, and I had to get out of the truck to open up the side door and put the ladder down. So these 9 guys pile out, and they go in and buy some food and go to the bathroom. And I said, "Come on, we got to get going here." So they all piled back in. I shut the side door, and I got in my truck, and I didn't go down the road 10 miles. And there was a cop sitting in the middle, state patrol. And I went by, and he pulls out. And I looked down. I go, "Well, I'm doing just about 70. It's a 65. I'm fine." And then another cop car shows up behind him. And I'm like, "Why have I got 2 cops? They haven't even got their lights on yet." Well, all of a sudden, one pulls alongside me and puts his lights on. I pull over, and I said, "What's the problem, officer? We need you to go down to the next exit and pull off. There's a feed mill there. I want you to pull in that parking lot." And he was not nice. And I said, "Well, what's the problem? Just do what you're told." So I went down, and I told them guys, I radioed them, and I said, "I don't know what's going on here. We're getting pulled over, and just behave yourself." So we pulled into the feed mill, and I got out of my tractor, and he said, "Where are you going?" I said, "We're going to Louisville, Kentucky." I said, "There's a tractor pulled down there. I have a tractor in here." So I opened the side door, and I showed him, "There's the tractor right there. What's the problem? What else you got in here?" I said, "I don't understand what you're saying." "Well, we need to see what you have in here." I said, "Okay." So I put the ladder down, and the officer walked in. There was about 3 of them there. They walked in, opened up the door to the living quarters, and here's 9 guys sitting on the couch there with their hands between their legs going, "Hello." And so the cop turns around to the other cop and said, "Okay, you're fine. You're good to go." And I said, "What is the problem?" And they said, "Well, we had a report that you were transporting illegal aliens to the southern."
Oh, God.
So that's that story.
Well, they had to have been drinking beer too, Dirk, in there.
They were piled.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I don't know what they did with all the beer cans, but somehow they had them hid somewhere. But it didn't smell good.
Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it. That's one of my. I love that story every time you tell it. Makes me smile.
So I had a a friend there, the late great cousin of mine, John Yeager. He just passed away here from cancer this spring, and he was one of the guys in there. And as the cops were leaving, he says, "Buenos dias."
Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. If you're just joining us, Dirk Drury, one of the promoters of the Highland National Truck and Tractor Pull this weekend. Local classes at 2 p.m., Badger State at 6 p.m. Dirk, do you know off the top of your head what the local classes are?
Yes, I do. Just happen to have that in front of me here.
There's a pile of them, isn't there?
Well, no, we got 4 local classes. We got an 8,500-pound naturally aspirated at.
You have to have that because you're close to Darlington. You have to have that class.
Well, that's the class that Highland started with. And we told them guys, because they're like, well, the bigger you get, you're gonna leave us and we're not gonna be here anymore. He says, no, you will be part of this, because they were part of the ones that helped out. And then we have an 8,500 too hot to farm, and I think that's 18 miles an hour. I can't read it.
Yep, it is.
Yes.
Yep. And then we have a 12,000-pound farm stock at 12 miles an hour, and then an 11,000 2.4 altered, which is Kleppy's class.
That's Kleppy's class. Yep.
Yep. And we're going to look at the track when those classes are done, and we're going to make a decision whether to rip the track up or see what we can do with it, because I was just I'll be up there every night this week looking at the track. And I went up there tonight, and Mother Nature gave us all kinds of moisture, and it's not mud, but this might be one of those tracks you won't have to add any water, but we're going to keep checking it out, because Thursday we're supposed to get a little rain, and we'll see how it goes after that.
I like it. And then our Badger State classes at 6 p.m. are 466 Hot Farm, Super Farms, Light Pro Stocks, 2-wheel drive trucks, 4-1 Limited Pros, and the Pro Stocks. So that's going to be a heck of a good show. And for $10, Dirk, I mean, you guys must have some strong sponsorship to be able to do that.
Well, that's the nice part about it, is like, it's these guys. It's Brandon Bodenstein. It's Don Poppy. It's Ryan Poppy. It's all these guys that work together, and that pull is paid for before we even open the gate.
That is a great feeling.
And I tell people that if you're going to pay for a pull by the gate, you're in the wrong business. Last year, the poster came out. It was $15 entry, and I pitched a fit. And I said, we cannot charge $15 to get into a pull. You charge $10 to get in. They'll pay twice that at the beer tent and the food tent. Because, when you got kids and you want to bring the whole family, we're trying to keep this a family event. You don't want to break the bank when they come to the gate. We actually had a couple people turn around last year and leave because it was $15. But it's $10. You can roam around the pit. You can talk to the pullers. We just ask that you stay out of the hot pits. But we've got a lot of room there.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. If anybody has any questions for Dirk or about the Highland Pull this weekend, or any good memories or good stories about the Highland Pull, please type in the comments. We'll put them there up on the screen and stuff like that. And then, Dirk, another thing I just want to, how long did you wait? How long were you on the list for the new kidney and the pancreas?
I was on dialysis for 3 years, and a year ago in September, I got put on the list. So I waited about 8 months I got it in April. So it was about 6 months that they called me up one night at 9 o'clock and said, we need you to get to Madison ASAP. And it was instant how good you felt, because before that, all I did was I would go to bed at 7:30 at night, wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning, try to get something done in my shop, and then eat lunch, nap for 2 hours, and then that night do it all over again. And dialysis will keep you alive, but it's no way to live. And the longer I was on it, the more I went downhill. And it's just been a miracle. It's been a godsend. And I tell you what, Jason, sitting in that hospital room because nobody could come in the room my wife couldn't come in for 7 days. So I'm in this hospital room for 7 days by myself. And the texts, the phone calls that the pullers all over this country gave me was pretty darn humbling. I mean, when you got guys from Kentucky, New York State, Indiana, Minnesota, all my PPL friends, texting me and wishing me good luck. And it's very humbling, and it's why we do this sport. It's such a family. And when somebody needs something, everybody's there to pick you up. It's very humbling. And you can only say thank you, but the word thank you doesn't even cut it.
No, agreed. No, it was awesome. I'm super happy for you. I've known you and Amy forever. You've known me since I was a little whippersnapper, or a little smartass, I think is what you call me, actually.
You still are.
Okay.
A little bigger.
A little bigger.
I just so happy for you to see you happy again and living the quality of life that you deserve. And Amy's awesome. You've done so much for Badger State, you and Amy, over the years. And I've been very involved with you guys in the past, and just super, super proud of what you do, and happy that you're feeling better and doing better. We all the pullers, Kelly would give us a daily update. And you were in the hospital, and everybody was like, Amy can't go in and see him yet. He's got to be going crazy. But I suppose with all the infection and COVID and everything.
Right. Else. But, I was so thrilled to get this that you've been waiting 3 years to get.
Yeah.
That I was like, it's 7 days out of my life. I can deal with it.
Yep. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay.
I see the remedy is not going to make Highland this weekend.
No.
Buddy, you got to get a little quicker on the old fuel dump.
So I was reaching, Dirk. I swear to God. So if you watching the slow-mo video, the first thing I did was, oh crap, when I came back, and then I should have went for the three-way on the dash. I went for the one behind the fuel, and then Tony said I did it in the wrong order. But it was about 3.5 seconds. I counted it. I watched the video a couple times.
Yeah, but when that happens, you got no time to sit there and go, okay, which one should I pull first?
Yeah, it was wild. It was wild. And I was on a good pass. I was happy it ran good that night. I was hoping, because we got some second places this year, and I thought, well, maybe I'll get lucky and this will be my win. But we followed the mods, and I knew they were going to build a road. But it still got 7th out of 25 that night, so I was pretty tickled. So pretty tickled with that.
So you can't.
Any big sponsors or anything, Dirk, you want to thank for the event? I mean, you've mentioned a lot of the guys. I recognize all the names, Gates and Bodenstein and everybody.
Oh man, I knew Hennessy Implement is a big sponsor.
We all know that guy.
Nutrient Ag Solutions. Let's see. Total Seed Solutions.
Who's that?
Total Seed Solutions, the Bob Rose and the Channel Seed guy.
Oh, okay.
Man, I know I'm forgetting because
that's the thing. It's so hard. You always forget somebody. So
Georgia Small Engines.
Hey, I know that. I know the owner of that guy. You can get a Simplicity Conquest. Is that what I have? A Conquest mower?
Yes, you have a Conquest.
It's got the comfortable seat on it for fat people. So I appreciate that. So yep.
We're gonna have music there. My son Luke's got a sound system, and we will have music there playing. So we got all the bases covered. We just need a kick-ass track. That's my goal. And that's what will keep bringing quality pullers to your pole if you have a good track.
Yes.
And I even made the call to Pat Hack, and he's going to come up Saturday morning and help me because
the Pat Hack.
Nobody knows dirt like he does.
I would agree. Well, he eats it. I mean, he's not very smart, but that's how well he does.
He's an old puller, and he's an old sled operator.
And that's smart, Dirk. I'm proud of you.
That's what it takes to build a track is somebody that is a puller that knows what he wants. I mean, Badger State went to Lancaster last Wednesday. Jeff Ball built the track, and you're going to be hard-pressed to find any better track than that one was.
I heard it was very, very, very mean.
Yes.
I heard that too.
Yep.
We had light limiters that didn't have a low enough gear.
Not even a Gordyville gear?
Wow.
I don't know. Boy, they were putting them on their knees.
That's awesome. All right, before we let Dirk go, Ryan has his question he always asks at the end. I need Cody, Paul, and Charles to answer. You have to ask Dirk one question, but it can be nothing to do with pulling.
Oh, boy.
So think behind the helmet, the people, but nothing to do with pulling. So whoever wants to go first, Cody, Paul, or Charles, each one of you have to ask Dirk one question, but it can have nothing to do with pulling.
What brand cowboy hat is that hanging on the hook back there behind you?
That is my father-in-law's who passed away. Oh, boy. 7 years ago?
4 years ago.
No.
When did Danny pass away?
Danny passed away before my dad. My dad's been gone 6 years. I think it was 2014. Yes. And that was his Stetson.
So now knowing that story, go grab that. Show it to us. That's awesome.
Let's make sure he's got pants on. Whew.
Yeah, right. That's a hell of a story.
He was an auctioneer.
That hat. I got total respect for that hat.
No, that is his Stetson, and it fits me perfect.
Love it. I love it.
Dirk, you actually, I mean, I'm not into dudes, but you look good in a cowboy hat. So
I know.
Yeah, you wear that well, dude.
Yeah, you do. Amy's probably licking her chops right now in the other room watching on the iPad.
I was going to say something, but I better not.
No.
Don't kill your chances, man.
Cody. Unmute yourself, Cody.
Unmute. So that's
biggest. The guy can fly a drone, but he can't unmute his computer. So,
How many years have you and Amy been married?
We just had our 40th anniversary in June.
Happy anniversary.
Yeah.
Thank you.
How did you get her anyway? She's a babe. How did you pull that off, Drury?
Well, you should have seen me back then.
Call Amy into the room. We want independent verification.
Yeah, Amy Drury to the computer. Amy Drury to the computer.
But to be honest with you,
yeah,
the first time she met me, she thought I was an arrogant asshole.
No way.
Yes.
I can't see that at all. Oh, I love it. I love it. Paul, one question for Dirk, non-polling related.
Is everyone in Wisconsin a Packers fan?
No.
Yes. I'm sorry.
No.
Darn.
If you get up around the La Crosse area, for some reason, they think they're closer to Minnesota. So there's a lot of White Queen fans up there. And, yeah, they're not all Packers.
They're not
Good.
Packers.
I mean I'll never wear a cheese head.
That's good.
But I got to tell you one more thing, though.
Yes,
Jason.
please.
You know what else happened in 2020? Before I died, I told everybody before I die, I want to go down the track in a pro stock.
That's right.
And I did that night.
Whose did you drive? I forget.
Randy Baru.
Randy Baru from Baraboo. Did you drive Tool Times 1 or Tool Times 2?
I drove the little one. I drove Tool Time 1, but I didn't care.
Yep.
It was a pro stock. And
a little pro stock, still a big pro stock for the rest of us. It's gonna be okay.
And I told
yeah.
And, after driving Super Farm all those years, and I drove, a hot farm and stuff every once in a while. I drove Greg's once in a while. But I went up to Randy and I was sitting on there and I said, so Randy, what do you come out of the hole at? And he said, well, take it to about 5,700 and then let her loose. And you're sitting there on that tractor and you're kind of programmed that Super Farm days, $4,000, you're about ready to come out. And I'm at $4,000. I'm like, I got another 1,600 to go. And I got the 5 and the hood's shaking.
Yep.
And everything's getting louder. And I got the 55 and the fire's coming out the pipe. And I'm like, this is good enough for me. I'm going. And the funniest thing is I was so excited going down the track that I got to the end of the track and I forgot to push clutch in. I pulled back on the throttle and killed her dead.
Oh, that's awesome. I forgot that you got to do that. That's so cool.
Yep. And I'll never forget that.
No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't.
I'd never forget that.
Man,
you've done so much for Badger State, you and Amy, Dirk. Thank you. I can't thank you enough. So it's been so many good memories over the years, and many memories to make in the future as well. So before Ryan's always got his question for you, but I want to bring up the Highland poster one more time because I got to be a good promoter, and we're gonna do this quick, and we'll go through it. Somebody just commented. Let's see here. Ding, 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 ding. Again, so Dirk's one of the promoters of the Highland Nationals this Saturday in Highland, Wisconsin. Again, local classes at 2 o'clock. So you can come out at 2, pay your $10. You can stay for the whole day, right, Dirk?
Yep.
Okay. Yep. Or if you just want to come see the Badger State show, you can show up before 6 o'clock and do that. They have plenty of parking. And then no carry-ins, right, Dirk? You guys have a beer tent, food tent, everything's there, right, bud?
Well, you can't say that to the pullers, really.
Right? No. This show is not for pullers. I mean, I'm talking about the fans, the spectators.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, it's $10, and we've got plenty of beer and food. And if we sell out of food, hey, that's great too.
Years ago, there was a promoter that told the pullers they couldn't bring beer in, and I don't think that went real well. I'm trying to remember who it was.
No. I know who it was, but that's okay.
No, we're not talking about it. But it did not go well for that promoter. I remember specifically.
No, and I tell people, that are booking these polls or like a fair or whatever, I said, if you think your poll is going to make it or not because you're charging pullers, I said you don't even belong having a poll.
Right.
Because the pullers are there to put on the show.
Yep. Absolutely. All right, Ryan Rusink. This is the question. This is the question of Let's Grow Pulling. So here we go.
Well, before we get there, I was at Highland last year, and I got to tell you, if you're on the fence, clear your schedule and go. It's a great show. It is. It has that hometown feel. It's got. Well, when I was there last year, it was every class under the sun, except for garden tractors. And I saw pulling vehicles. I mean, I've been shooting tractor pulls for 10, 12 years. I saw at least a dozen vehicles that I'd never seen before, maybe more. And if you've never been to this show, I would urge you to go. If I could make it up that far this weekend, I would. But it will definitely be a very worthwhile show. And the level of effort that those guys put on to make that track safe to hook on was nothing short of incredible, because I saw it. I was there by noon, and I saw what that track looked like. And I saw a little bit of that standing water, and the pits were a mess, or a muddy mess when I got there, and, yada, yada, yada. Those guys put on a heck of a show. Bar none, let alone a heck of a show given what they started with.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, you guys did a hell of a job. That was a great show. And I guess one more question: are you going to get Gates on another deer this year?
Ooh,
make him die inside a little bit more.
I don't know what they got planned for Gates, but I'm sure it's something.
Okay, good. I because I know he died a little inside when he had to climb on that thing and drive it, but he drove it like a rock star. I'll tell you that. He even turned down his hook and came back again so he could do better.
In 2019, was it 18? It was before any Badger State classes. The poll got over with. Of course, everybody's drinking beer, and I look out on the track, and here's 2 4-wheel drive pickup hooked up drawbar to drawbar.
Yes. Do you have video? Do you have video of this, Dirk?
No, I don't. I wish that. And Lee Ruff was standing next to me. and Lee's looking at me, and I said, Lee, I bet you don't see this in Darlington, do you? He said, you guys are nuts. And there's 5 guys in each pickup box.
Oh, good.
And I said, that's it. I'm going home. I don't want nothing to do with this.
Mike Steffen, is there area for lawn chairs? Never been there, planning on going.
We got plenty of bleachers. We really don't have a place for lawn chairs because we got to keep safety in mind. We fence everything. That one year there was a whole bunch of people down at the end of the track sitting up on the berm, and I had to go down and, basically say, one of these comes unhooked, you're dead. But there might be a couple spots you could use lawn chairs on, but we bought a bunch of bleachers 2 years ago. We bought some more last year, so we get to use all from the Highland Park and all from the Highland schools. And so we're going to have quite a bit of seating, but there's really no place to put a lawn chair to see the pole safely or to get a good view of it.
I'm just looking for some photos right now. I got some from last year. I'll throw up on the screen of the facility here.
I've got a full album if you want it.
I like Corey Famaville's post. You're on.
Have to drive a light pro.
You are
on.
on.
All right, Dirk. Well, now I am going to ask if you could take anything, past or present, and go pulling with it for a night. What would you take? Where would you go, and why?
Well, I know what I would take. I'm just thinking where I'd go.
Fair enough.
There's only one tractor that I've been dying to pull for years and years and years, and that's the Fuelish Pleasure, the Brinkmeyer family. That's been my favorite tractor for 30 years.
And I think they pulled off a win at Highland last year, did they not?
I don't remember.
Or did they come in close?
But when I started in this pulling business years ago when I was a young tech official, I learned more from 2 guys that I respected more than anything in pulling, and that was Gary Brinkmeyer and Dwayne Hook. And those guys taught me more about pulling and being fair and making the pull so everybody in the class has got a fair shot. Then I owe everything to them 2 gentlemen. They were the founding fathers, and those are the people you just listen to. But I'm trying to think of a place that I would have to say probably Goshen, Indiana.
And why is that, Dirk? I've never been there. I know they have good sandwiches.
I was when I did the PPL tour one year, I did 5-6 polls with them, and I traveled all over the country, which is cool. You got to see other polls and other venues, but that place was just nuts. It was packed. The poll started at 6 o'clock at night, and there's people at 10 o'clock in the morning sitting in the bleachers. And the track isn't that great. It's kind of a sandy-ish track, but it's the crowd of people that get there. Between that and Evansville, Indiana, same thing. There's thousands.
And those events are back-to-back nights. I mean,
Yes.
across the state.
Yep. But
I think Goshen's a horse track, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
And they dump a bunch of water on there and they make it work. But it's probably not the best pulling track out there. I'd say one of your best pulling tracks is, close to home here, probably Hillsboro. They had a kick-ass track last weekend. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, they put on a heroic effort to make sure that they could get as much pulling in as they did.
Yeah, I got there at 4 o'clock, and I was at the end of the track with Buzz and John Mears, and Buzz did not want to pull Friday night. He said we could pull tonight, but he said if we get any rain at all after we open it up, we're done for the weekend. But they made it go.
Good deal. Good deal. Well, Dirk, we've taken up 40-some minutes of your life, and we appreciate you sharing that with us, all the stories. That's what makes this show fun, doing that, and we wish you nothing but good luck this Saturday in Highland, Wisconsin, buddy.
Thank you. That's what Kathy Meyer said once last week. She came up to me and she says, I would just love to have a group of these young pullers sit down with some of you old guys that have been in pulling every year and hear Badger State stories. And I said it would, back in the days, it was nuts. The founding
how do we make that happen? How do we make that a podcast
and can
so everybody hears that story? How can we do that?
we be invited to that? Yes, please.
I don't know, but I know that back in 76 when they founded, the board of directors was like 6 guys or whatever, and they'd go out booking pulls, and they'd be gone for 3 days. And not a 1 hour was sober. And it was... And then the next generation just continued.
Yeah, I mean, that story needs to get told, and it needs to be recorded and preserved. If we can figure that out with you, I want to. I know Rye would too. Let's figure that out, please.
No, and that's what honestly, like, we need to do this in the winter, guys. Organize some stuff and get them set up. And I got some ideas kicking around in my head. It always comes down to time, obviously, but it's time. We've been saying this for a couple of years now, Charles. It's time to start it. You know?
Yep.
I would drive up to Wisconsin for that.
Well, we can
I would love to sit and hear that.
We can record these and then play them as a show, and that's what we need to do that.
Yeah.
Because that's what the behind the helmets and this is how we rolls. We're telling stories, and that people want to hear the stories because we see the trucks and tractors go down the track, but more people learned about what Dirk Drury's did in his life tonight than they have because everybody in the Badger State knows him, but now a lot of people outside of Badger State knows him. We got people watching from California to New York tonight, so it's all good, and Canada. So, yep.
You weren't part of the Oskaloosa, Iowa one, were you?
I did go to that one.
You did?
I did.
When Greg had all of the hotel buggies in his trailer, then when he got home.
Yep. Good stories.
Sounds like a story. Sounds like wintertime baiting. We're hooking you.
I love it. Dirk, thank you again for sharing some stories with us tonight, and thank you for helping the Highland guys. That is a heck of an event for that community and the surrounding area. So, and you guys have a good date too, where there's not a billion pulls on top of it. We're kind of coming out of that fair run the last 6 weeks, and
I was really nervous of last week's 4 in a row. I'm like, boy, I hope there's something running by the time we get ours.
Yep.
But yeah, just everybody come out. It's a good time. It's we try to do a professional job, but it's still a small town pull, and that's what pullers love to come to.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, Dirk,
you guys get Ryan Poppy married off yet?
What's that?
You guys get Ryan Poppy married off yet?
I think it's like next month or something.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Good deal.
Yep.
Dreams do come true. Dreams do come true.
All right. You
Thanks,
guys
Dirk.
take care, and thank you. Thank you
See you,
very
buddy.
much.
Thanks, Dirk.
See you, Dirk. Until next time.
Thank you, Dirk.
That cowboy hat's badass, Charles. Thank you for asking that
man.
question.
Like I just if somebody's got a cowboy hat hanging on the hook behind him, there's a story behind it, and I was glad to hear him tell it. That fit.
No, and his father-in-law, Danny, was a great dude. Did so much. The Wheels of Time up here in Richland Center show that we have in every October. Danny was part of that. They actually had it at his farm, and it was awesome. All these old trucks and old tractors, and it was just a great time. He was a great guy. And then her mom, his mother-in-law Penny worked at the college where I went to UW Richland. So I mean, it was a small town feel. So good stuff.
Awesome.
And Highland is a great pull. It really is. And Ryan said
absolutely a good show.
in Bowdoin, there's good people behind it, and they're
Yep.
doing it, so this has been fun tonight. We talked about Ogilvie, Minnesota. We don't talk a lot about United Pullers in Minnesota, but that's a pretty good little state level organization up there because like I said, they only have Hutchinson for Grand National. I don't think there's any big Champions Tour hooks. No, not in Minnesota.
No.
Because, Bousman's live in Worthington, way down that southwest corner, right across the street from Iowa. And they had a Nebraska bush pull this year. So Minnesota, there's some big name pullers from the state of Minnesota, though. So that's what makes it fun.
Sure is.
Okay, who went to Bowling Green? Raise your hand. And this group, anybody go?
Nope.
Okay, so what are the takeaways? So we had our merchandise trailer out there, and we sold a lot of T-shirts. I will tell you that. But I don't know, what are the stories that you guys have been seeing on social media or pulloff.com, and anything we talk about with Bowling Green?
Sounds like it was a fantastic show. The turnout was excellent. The concern about being short of entries based on availability of parts didn't really materialize. There was full classes with everything except light unlimited, which was no surprise to anybody. I think that class is dead. It was a good weekend, excellent weekend. They had good pull-offs in a few classes and monster passes from some famous names and some great people getting some really good winner's circle interviews. And I got to give a shout out too while I'm on it. I'm on a roll to Darren Hartwell for jumping in on the announcer side. Nothing but good things, and I'm happy for him. And congrats, buddy. I'm happy for you. It sounds like you killed it. So good for you. That's incredible.
That's the big stage.
Yep, that's the big stage, and I'm happy for him to get that chance and for him to knock it out of the park. It's awesome.
I know they got all
Ken
the sessions.
freaking Venny.
Yes, Ken freaking Vinny is right. He in the session one for the minis, he showed everybody what it's about, and Robbie Fagundes talked about it last week. For minis, you got to be prepared to put it on kill. Yep. And not only does Ken know how to do that, he can do that. And he sure did. He showed you. There's nobody else I would trust with the methanol motor on the planet. He's the best.
Mm-hmm.
Like to see the big turnout they had on diesel supers. I think they had 17 or 18 of them first session, and I never did hear what the issue was with triple bypass. They made one pass, and I think that was in for the weekend. I didn't really hear what Colin had going on there. That sucked, but the class is not great, but it's not dead. Ryan, Cody, I'd be curious to hear what Esden did. How did Yogi handle out at Wisner?
Unfortunately, he couldn't get her to light either night.
It sucks.
I have.
It was a clutch issue, I believe, and according to I asked Mark Ulmer about it on Saturday, and he said Esden had a clutch issue, and when we started to fix that, it kind of became its own series of other little, kind of a cascading, kind of a waterfall deal. And it just couldn't get her to light.
Gotcha.
For those of you that have never seen Bowling Green, there it is. That's why that is special, because of the fans. That is just stupid.
People everywhere. If you ever get the chance to go, you need to go.
Yep.
I was on the fence about going Friday night. I didn't, only because I knew I had to be up Saturday morning for my hometown fair here, and it would have been too much. I'm not 22 anymore, guys. I can't go down there and hang out and then be back.
And when we try to be 22, it takes 22 days to feel like we're normal.
Yeah, it does. It does, and I would not have been doing justice to the job I was hired for and I need to respect that. So I did, and I stayed home, and I missed everybody. It would have been fun to go down there and hang out and say hello to everyone. I'm sorry I missed you. Who knows? 2023 is a different deal. Maybe next year. So
I checked pull off for some banter. What's the stuff about the pull offs in the pro stock class? And Simon's interview, what happened?
He dropped an F-bomb in the interview, and I appreciate the passion. I don't necessarily like what he said. I'll say that. You got to read the room a little bit and understand that it is a family event, but I do appreciate the passion.
So they had 4 in the pull off, and it was old school like drama. That was the last class of the night. That's
yeah,
what
it was. It was, yes.
Awesome. Okay, cool. I just wanted to check in on that a little bit, see what you guys knew there. Paul.
Travis effing Schlabaugh.
Yeah, well, he's
probably give the man his due.
Z-Bone Twister?
Z-Bone Twister. Yeah, he now has a ring for each hand.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know what Cody means, guys. I'm out of the loop. Why did the Enderley leave Fort Recovery for Bowling Green? Why did the Enderley leave Fort Recovery for Bowling Green?
Well, it didn't. It left Fort Recovery and went to Urbana, Ohio. And the why, I don't know.
Okay. Because we got to talk about
a Washburn moment there, Charles. For just a hot second,
did it come in there?
Oh yeah, a lot.
I don't do that on purpose. I really don't. I have the utmost respect for Alan. I'm not trying to mimic him, but there's so many times it happens.
Pinckneyville.
Anyway, we can move on.
Yeah, Paul, what video can I bring up from Pinckneyville from your lives that you want me to show?
Pick one. Doesn't matter.
Did you destroy T-shirts with flaming embers this year?
I do have some burns on the arm. It wasn't as bad this year because we didn't have the north wind blowing them back at us. The wind was actually kind of out of the south, but we were shooting them in the air. That's for sure.
I stood by Esden Saturday night, guys, on the right rear tire, about 10 feet off his rear tire, right in the middle of the track, between the two tracks, and trying to get that thing to light. I had like black chicken pox from the oil in the fuel from my head all the way down to my toes. When you guys see that crew shirt, you'll go,
oh yeah, that jersey was something else.
Yep. I'm going to have Esden sign that. So
welcome to Wet Stacks.
Welcome to Wet. I used to, when we ran biodiesel in the hot farm, that would, oh my goodness. Whew. It was crazy like that.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
No, we had great show down there Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, 3 nights. The antique pulls on Sunday did get canceled. Had some rain that moved in. We watched the radar on Saturday night, and the wind picked up. The temperature dropped about 10 degrees in a matter of what seemed like 30 seconds. And had we been another mile south, we would have been absolutely soaked. But no, I had a great show. Couple of kids got on tractors on Saturday.
I saw Keith Marquardt did that.
Thresherman, they're calling that the American Thresherman Dream Ride. They did it last year. They did it this year. They're going to probably do it again next year, if I was guessing. But yeah, they had little Douglas Hobby got on Keith Marquardt's Keeps Taking Money Limited Pro, and then Addie Reynolds, she got on Robert Fuller's IH 1206. Both of those guys said that that was way more nerve-wracking than anything that they did on the track pretty much all year. So that was really cool. All the pullers were out there on the track, and then they got a big group picture. And then I spent a lot of time on steam engines. I rode on the back with them when they were plowing. I was on mountain GoPros on a steam engine. That's pretty cool. I've got some really good footage. I'm going to be throwing a video together. If anybody out there is watching and has a good trackside video of Friday night's steam engine show, if you would kindly donate that footage. I got everything except that for some reason. But
hey, Paul, maybe check with Sherry Rozier. She was adding a bunch of stuff
there.
to her Snapchat.
Yep.
I don't know if she took anything that was not Snapchat video, but
yeah, we talked to her.
Saw one on TikTok that was pretty good. I can see if I can find it again.
Yeah, we had a good class of pro stocks. We had both the Schnicker tractors. Couches were both there. The ceramics made the trip over. Of course, they've had a trying season, but they were able to get everything together and got over there and run. And Braden took the win Saturday night with the pro. So yeah, it was quite a good time. We had a lot of fun. We stayed down there.
Hello, good evening, Beer Money Nation. All with Beer Money talking. We're here in Pinckneyville, Illinois. This is our Saturday night show, and we've got something a little bit special that we're doing.
Sorry, Paul.
Before we go kick off, we're going to do some Make-A-Wish stuff.
Okay, got it. Sorry, guys.
But yeah, they
that track looks killer, by the way. Pinckneyville.
Schultz, you're coming down here at some point.
Yeah, I'm done with points.
Tractor down here. I know, running for points, but I don't know how many times I was asked, when is Jason going to bring the tractor? And I'm like, he's committed to points this year, but I said maybe next year. Of course, this was a couple hours before you decide to, hit the eject button. But yeah, it's definitely it is a power track. The pullers absolutely love it. It's this way every year. It's just a great track. JR was there with the X Factor sled. Then Justin ran it Saturday night. But yeah, Robert Fuller said that whenever he had the little Addy on his tractor, of course they set him in the seat and they'll pull the lap belt around him, and he said he could feel her heart just pounding in her chest when he was driving or whatever, he was getting ready to take off. And he said she was just kind of sitting there, and he took her hands and put them on the steering wheel. He said, "You're driving." He didn't touch the steering wheel the entire way down the track. But this show is, it is unbelievable. Saturday night we sold out. They sold out every ticket that they had for bleachers on both sides of the track. And normally, with everything going on, they have some tarps that they put alongside the track. At times they dropped all of those because it was standing room only. Friday night was the best Friday night crowd they've ever had. Bowling Green had 13 light supers. We had 11. So that was what they kept kind of grading it by.
Nice work.
The guys, a lot of the guys that are part of that, Richard Farthing, Justin Farthing, Wayne Tedder, Wayne and Richard are kind of the head of the pool there, but there's a lot of guys. Jason Moore, who commented, and Jason was very instrumental in getting the kids lined up for this, and they put a lot of effort into not only building the track but just the overall show. And Whitworths were there Friday night, and they told the guys they liked it so much they said next year if you'll bring the heavy supers in, said that we will bring 4 tractors. So, and Scott took the win, Champion Oil Super. But like I said, they do a spark show every night, and Jansen family did it 2 nights, and then the Mashoff family brought their 110 out on Saturday night and put on a hell of a spark show. So it's just a fun weekend. You can there's so much to do. There's field demonstrations. There's all kinds of steam engine. There's thrashing or wheat thrashing. There's broom corn stuff. They've got construction equipment demonstrations. It's a full deal. That poor guy is internet gold now.
I appreciate all your live videos, Paul. I was watching them in Wisner. They were awesome. This is the plowing?
Yeah, so I got on the back of the 5.
did you wear overalls? It seems to me that overalls are the uniform of anybody who owns or operates a steam engine.
They kind of are. It's kind of an honorary thing, really. But when you see those guys and how dirty they get, then you understand why. Those things, just to ride on one and feel how they operate, and looking up there and seeing all of this huge cast iron stuff moving is unbelievable. And you look down there and you see how hot those fireboxes are getting. And when we were plowing, Dustin was continuously feeding that thing coal. Now I don't know if that's like par for the course or if that's how they used to do it in the old days, but I mean, this thing took a lot of fuel. And this is the 65, so it's, like I said, it's quite a bit smaller than the 110, but it's crazy how, and that field, I did another video when they do those field demonstrations. That field's, I don't know how long, it's long, and there are side by sides literally parked, backed up to the woods, and on the other side all the way around it, watching these things go down. The 110 that I was on when we were hooked to the sled, that's one of 3 tractors that was hooked at the Half Century of Progress show. There was 3 of the 110s. They pulled 60 bottoms at once, just
60?
3 tractors, 60. And that was in 2005, I think. But yeah, Bill and Dustin and Jesse, they're all about the steam engines and keeping those things going. Bill's grandpa had one when he was growing up. That's why they kind of got into it. They're farmers, and they started buying them, and they just keep them going. And they know a lot of stuff. I'm very intrigued when I'm around them, because there's so much to learn about them and how they operate. It's pretty cool.
They are truly the OG pro stocks.
Yeah, torque monsters.
Mm-hmm.
That they are.
No, thanks for covering Pinckneyville, Paul. That's awesome. How far is that from home?
Oh, an hour and a half, a little more, probably somewhere a little more than that. It's just like 20 minutes south of Nashville.
Is it? Oh, yeah, I knew that. Yep.
And Mark was up there reading the laser all night, so thanks for Mark. Mark works for a John Deere dealer, and he has a big service truck that he generally brings to the shop or to the show in case any pullers need it. Well, last year we needed it. I had to get the smoke wrench out to get one of the tractors in the trailer. So Mark's very helpful in that, right? And I was very glad that we didn't have to do that this year. Jason,
Did you guys run yours?
We ran ours Thursday night. Like I said, it did all right. We haven't got any of the parts that we were hoping to have before the season started to help get some of that taken care of. But I was there, of course, with the 618ers. There's all kinds of those guys down there. So, and then they did a cool thing. They had the King of the Stack competition, longest combined distance, Friday night and Saturday night for the 85, 95, and the 10,000-pound pro stock class. Ken Couch put down a monster pass on Friday night to take the win. It was 368. That tractor just kept going and going and going. And then Braden took a shot at it for Saturday night and got him, but he didn't get the combined distance, but I think he went 365. So it was a great show.
Awesome. So this is Wisner, Nebraska, the pits, where the pullers pit, and I've never experienced it until this first year. And it's as cool as everybody said. Those cottonwood trees, they're large, very, very
huge.
I'll be posting some videos once I kind of catch up on sleep and stuff here.
Shade in the pits is a wonderful thing.
What's that, Paul?
Shade in the pits. Having shade trees in the pits is just, it's unbelievable. It's such a good thing that you don't even think about till you're sitting out in a great open field. with not a tree in sight.
Baking in the sun.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the weather was just perfect there all weekend. I mean, so even if it was hot, I think it would still feel good in those trees somewhat. You know what I mean? So
it does.
It does. But these are just some of the pictures that I took, kind of going up to the staging area and stuff. And like I said, I got some videos to share. So there's Uncle Paul putting some ether in. So Uncle Paul came up from Tulsa. So this is another picture I got. I just thought this was cool. We kind of see the starting line and just super, super cool venue in Wisner, Nebraska. And it's funny because a lot of people came up to me like, oh, we hear how awesome Bowling Green is, but Wisner's like 20 minutes from my house. I'm like, no, I get it. You know, and I talked to Ference Vey on the way home last night. Shelbyville, Kentucky was a success. You know, I mean, I know Bowling Green is the big name, you know, nationwide, just because of the pure amount of fans. But there's still a lot of good pulls going on out there. So just pretty cool. I think there's 197 hooks on Friday night, right, guys?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't doing airboat rides. I didn't see it, but I saw some airboats. But I didn't see any. No, I actually did a Facebook reel called Thunder in the River. There were some ATVs and UTVs out there messing around.
I saw that.
And the chief of police is very nice when you drive your Holzhauer Kawasaki down the main street. He pulls you over and politely tells you that if he was a state trooper, he'd give you a $150 ticket, and you just should stay on the back roads. So I want to thank the nice chief of police in Wisner, Nebraska, for that nice warning. So that was good. So.
Not really supposed to represent your sponsor in that way, but
Brad told me any publicity is good publicity. Or no, maybe that's what I told myself. Yeah, that's what I told myself.
Don't go through West Point riding on the ATV.
Stone.
Unless you're West Point Police Department, it is not an ATV; it's a UTV. But don't go through there strapped into the side by side on the trailer being pulled by a Jeep. They don't like that.
Oh. Paul, is this a good one?
That's the one. That's the pole. That's the Spark Show.
You guys back them up straight, Paul?
We just back that monster in wherever we can. We try to get straight, but it takes 3 people to operate this steam engine. Bill and Phyllis Jansen are the owners. And they've got their kids involved. Dustin is there right there. You can see his hand. And then Bill's grandson, which was pretty cool, had his grandson up there doing the steering. So that's Virgil up there. And, I mean, when this thing takes off, it just about threw me out of the cab. Dustin grabbed me because it's not something that you just kind of ease out. It's all right, boys. It's all about timing. I mean, they've stoked that thing that's been sitting back there running, getting those. They use pine chips or pine shavings, and they throw them in there and they get them charred, but you don't burn them per se. You just have to get them to where they're ready. Once you put some air to it, then it'll go. And so you will actually, they'll cut the fire down to where they won't burn. So they'll shut that flue. And then Dustin opened that door up and didn't realize it. Well, it caught air and it backdrafted and shot a big flame out of the firebox.
Looks like you're cross-tracking, Paul.
Oh yeah. We cross-tracked it a little bit, but yeah, it was just unreal. It's something I wish everyone could do, but Bill, he's known my family for years and years and years. He was good friends with my uncle, but growing up. But he's one of I have a few little parts on this steam engine we've been able to make for Bill, just tightening some things up and some little shaft work and stuff like that. But yeah, that firebox is glowing red. And then Dustin is actually down there. And to jump from where Dustin is standing up there, I mean, it's a 5.5 foot drop down there to that platform.
Yeesh.
And Dustin is telling JR, bring the box up, because you've got to load it just right. You don't want to kill it. but he's kind of watching the fire and watching the sparks and everything, and they're loading that steam engine just to the point where it's good, and then you just keep her roaring.
That's so awesome. I bet everybody stays till the bitter end for this, Paul, don't they? The fans?
They usually run this before the second or third, or they'll run it after the second or third class. And there are a lot of people that do tend to leave. And at this night, the class before it was Pro Stocks. The class after it was the 85 Limited Pros. And on Friday night, the class after the Steam or Spark Show was the Pro Stocks, and there was people that kind of got up and left, and I'm like, "Are you guys nuts?" But most of them stayed. But a lot of them, the little kids love this; they just go nuts over it. But yeah, when I'm hanging out the side of that cab and holding my arm out there, it's just scorching my arm. There is a GoPro. So I had 3 GoPros on the steam engine and 1 on the sled looking forward. There's a GoPro down there towards the front that's looking up at the stack. And when I got done, it had embers all over it.
Paul, how long do they have to get that thing hot? Because I know like the small one that they did down at McLeod, they say it's 2 hours usually before they're going to put it down the track. How long? They were doing field demonstrations at 1:00 in the afternoon, and they choke the fire down, but it never really goes cold. It's continuously burning all afternoon. And then when it gets closer to time, then they'll go in there and they'll stoke that up. I mean, they're getting it really ready. Probably an hour before they have to hook, they're really starting to get it ready.
And people don't realize you don't just do one of these things. You've got to have a boiler operator's license. I mean, you're talking about pressures that if you get it wrong, you're going to kill somebody.
Yeah.
Those in the state of Illinois, all steam engines that, or at least at this, any show in the state of Illinois, all steam engines that are going to be operated and have an exhibition, they have to be certified. They have to be inspected. Yeah. And if you do not have that inspection sticker, you do not fire that thing up.
Yeah. Same in Michigan too. Yep.
As in Iowa and Nebraska and Minnesota.
Yeah. I mean, you're in a steam pressure. I mean, essentially, if things go wrong, you're riding a bomb.
Yep.
It's neat that people are keeping that tradition alive, though. And the younger generations get involved in it. So.
But it's crazy to
that one was a 1911 model.
It's crazy.
That's how old that thing was.
That long ago, though, that was just common practice. They probably didn't have to have license certifications back then, like you do now, type of thing. It was just common.
No, they would go out and take it out on the plains and plow until they ran out of fuel, and they go cut a tree down close by and keep going.
Yep.
So when Clinton Metting bought the bulletproof buck from Lance Little, what did Lance call it, guys? Did he have a name on it, or was it just the 830?
This was True Grit.
True Grit.
True Grit.
Was
Okay.
it?
Yeah.
So
True
nobody
Grit.
has driven, not even Connor has driven the bulletproof buck. So Saturday afternoon, there was 3 exhibition or test passes, and Conley's 15. He'll be 16 next May. And he got to drive their hot farm, the Bullfrog, down in Nordheim when I was down there in May. This kid's gonna be a driver. Like, he's a natural. And so he was the first pass on Saturday, and then Taylor Van Beek was trying to get Extreme Pleasure souped up, but he actually got it lit, and then the throttle cable broke. So that happened. And Alice Express, one of Dorman's tractors, they were trying to get it off the starting line. But we're going to watch Conley's video to wrap the show up. So what do you guys have to say before we wrap it up tonight? Anybody? Anything? Any polls coming up? Or
one other thing that I didn't mention, and it be only because a lot of us know, Andy Boer, the Frankenstock, Team Frankenstock. Head over and check out the video on Team Frankenstock. Andy's was a diesel super, and he went to the dark side, as we call it, and he made an exhibition. He went out Friday night to hook in the class. It went 100 feet, and it just died. They've been slowly making gains on this tractor. And Andy's brother-in-law is Mike Sandifer, if that tells you anything about going to
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Alki world. And Andy came out, and they wanted to make an exhibition hook on Saturday night. And boy, did he ever. One of the prettiest passes I've seen probably all year. he, like I said, they've been fighting this. It was fat on fuel. They've been slowly making changes, but click play on that right quick. Wow, that was pretty cool. I've never seen a tractor go from yellow to green.
So yeah, my computer's running really slow tonight. So
no, that's fine. Anybody who wants to see it can go over.
I got
Yeah.
Wow.
That's as nice as Andy's, I think, ever run. That's awesome. I'm happy for them guys.
And he let out of it. He could have kept going.
That's cool. Those guys deserve that, man. They've fought that thing for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Andy, whatever you do, do not touch that motor.
Yeah, they've been fighting it a long time.
Yeah,
so
you just listen to whatever Sandifer's House of Horsepower and VHS Rental Emporium tells you to do.
Yes,
yeah,
that's right.
But
And don't
Charles
do
coming
anything
in.
he doesn't tell you to do.
Yes,
Oh, I love it.
So I will be at Shide's Diesel Extravaganza this weekend. That's all.
Oh, good. Hell yeah, dude. I'm glad I get to see you. That's awesome.
Yep. I will be there. I'm going to be running around with the old 618 Motorsports crew. So Misty and I will be there.
Good deal, man. That's awesome.
Paul, do you want me to bring my truck down so you can use the generator?
Once you ask Shorefire, you can just leave that at home. You've spent enough in fuel this summer.
I love it.
Yeah, so I'll be down at Shide as well. I'll be on microphone for the Outlaw Diesel Super Series on the drag strip Friday and Saturday. And when we're done on the pavement, I'm going to put the microphone down and hoist the camera up and head over to the pulling track and hopefully connect with you, Paul, and also our long lost brother Leroy Schluter too. So,
yep.
Is he still alive, Leroy?
Yep. He's had a rough go of it here lately. So
yes, he has. Yes, he has. And the first thing I want to do is give that man a hug. So,
yep. Lost his father and his father-in-law in the same week.
What?
Yeah.
Yep.
I knew his dad had passed away, but
yep, Kelly's dad passed away before, less than a week before his dad did.
Wow.
And they celebrated their 9th anniversary that week as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was a up, down, or down, up, down.
Leroy's tough.
Yep.
I will probably not be on the show next week. We need to farm progress. So we've got to be at farm progress for work type of thing. And then I will be leaving Thursday night when we get done and driving through the night to Windsor, Colorado for the hook out there. So
nice.
I will not be on this show next week. I am announcing with my friend Eli Lisk at the DuPoint State Fair.
Oh, hell yeah. Nice.
On Monday and
Tuesday. Can we
Tuesday.
get some live video of you announcing?
Sure. I'll try to cut in.
Okay, I just saw Mark Ham's name pop up and I forgot. Okay, this is cool. So Mark Ulmer gave Russ Dostal his Thunder by the River, or his Lightning Bolt, and signed it. That is like legit fan awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Super cool for Russ.
I was excited to get my picture with Mark and Eston. That was cool.
That was neat. Your awkward
That
self
was cool.
Yeah.
This is so the Outlaws have the young guns for the drivers 16 through 25, and Titan Tire has really put a spotlight on these young drivers, and it's been awesome. And then the Outlaws donate $1,000, and I think Titan comes in with another $1,000, but in every state's been getting these FFA ones. So this was the presentation of that check. That was pretty neat.
Hey, on that front, how do we need to promote that? This might be a sidebar. Let's figure out how to get that on like Diesel Army or something. Let's get that out there.
The young guns?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was told by someone outside the organization how cool it is that like the interaction of the sponsors, and specifically Titan, how they came like the Iowa State Fair, they showed up, they wanted to be interactive and help type of thing. Like they said that they've never seen that before and thought it was really cool. So,
it was Titan Tire's an amazing sponsor for the Outlaws. What they're doing with the young guns. It's
the video that Mark pulled off with this photo. How did he do that? I mean,
well, he knows the guys really well. And,
okay.
We were coming back from breakfast. We were coming back from breakfast after talking to the chief of police, and we came in the back way like we were supposed to. And all of a sudden, I saw all the tractors lined up. I said, they just did a photo. They just did a calendar shoot, like a photo shoot. And sure as enough,
yes, they did.
I asked Mark, and I'm glad he commented on. He said True Grit, on the tractor. So it reminded me of this. I always say, I'm going to put this on the show. I'm going to put this on the show, and it's hard to keep up with.
Yeah, the video he got of those guys all lined up is awesome.
Is it on his Facebook page?
Yeah. I think so, yeah.
I'm going to find it. We got to play that. But this is so cool, all puff and smoke. Look at that, guys.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
That's freaking cool. Good on you, Mark, man. You pulled a coup off. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So awesome. There's Mr. Ham right there. His awkward selfie.
Not as awkward as mine is in the Porta-John.
That's straight up awkward.
He said he went up in a cage on a telehandler.
Yeah. Boy, that took some question. Or sorry, not question. I was reading the question down there. That took a lot of planning on his part.
Yeah, that's awesome. I was pumped to see that. I was like, man, you really knocked that one out. That was cool.
Yeah.
Bah, Mark, let me know when you ride up to with pallet forks.
Hey, my computer. God, this is cool. Charles, we got to get it like da 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 da. Put that to music. What is that? The 1894 Revelry or whatever. That's so
I just
cool.
think of Caddyshack.
1812 Overture.
Yeah, the 1812 Overture.
I think of Caddyshack when the golf course is blowing up.
Yeah.
Mark, I saw that comment.
Golfers.
That's awesome. Well done, Mr. Ham.
When you're saying that, all I could think of was we fired our guns and the British kept it running.
Oh, awesome. Well done, buddy. That's so cool. I am so glad that there's so many photographers and video people taking this seriously and trying different. It challenges all of us to step up our game a little bit. So.
Sure does.
I love it.
Sure does.
Love it, love it, love it. I missed what you said, Rye. What'd you say, Ham? Or what'd you say, Rye?
First day video.
Oh, I was picking on him, telling him that because Paul had said something about riding up in a telehandler. I said, bah, let me know when you ride on a skid steer on pallet forks, 15 or 20 feet in the air to get your camera out of the scale house
at Ellsworth.
In Ellsworth.
Yep.
And that's emotional damage. That was terrifying. It was even worse when I rode in the bucket because they couldn't find the forks. So I rode in a bucket and I didn't have anything to stabilize on. Ugh. Me and Heights.
I want to answer this. I want to answer this question. So after Pulling Radio Network, we started doing. Ryan Zolik and I started doing Let's Grow Pulling Live, and we started on YouTube. And I had no idea what I was doing on YouTube back then. I think like 3 or 4 people would watch, and I don't remember who our first interview was. We just tried to. I was doing a lot with Badger State back then because I was pulling with
me, and you'll be in a world of OSHA violations.
Yes, that.
Oh, I love it. Anybody have anything else before I play this video? So this is Conley Metting. He's 15 years old. He'll turn 16 next May. He's the son of Clint Metting, the Bulletproof Buck, younger brother of Connor Metting, who drives the Bull Wagon. And this is his first wheel down the track. I test pass Saturday afternoon in Wisner, Nebraska. So,
Jason, before you do that, I do have one thing.
Yep, go ahead.
The past 2 or 3 events where I've been and I've interacted with fans and had people coming up after the show. What do you drink on Monday night? So make me big real quick, would you?
Okay.
Just.
I think the good Lord already did that, Ryan.
Shut it. Okay, so tonight, this comes to me from Bardstown Bourbon Company. This is what I was drinking tonight. Lisa gave me this bottle. She used to work at this distillery. It is excellent. And if you can find one on the liquor store shelf, pick it up. It's a really, really good bourbon.
Yeah.
I saw a bunch of it in Nashville, Illinois this weekend.
You should have bought some because it's delicious.
That's right. Cody, we were there at that liquor store on the south side of town.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
we were.
it's still
I
there.
bought one.
There's a bunch of it.
Really?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I bought
if you can
one
get back
when we
there,
were there.
Get yourself a bottle, Paul. I know you don't drink a lot of whiskey, but get yourself a bottle, and then you can give it to one of us for a Christmas present.
Yeah,
and I will be in Marengo this weekend. Gonna go see our old buddy, Mr. Mayor of Pulltown, Travis Schlaubaugh.
Nice. Is he gonna be on the mic?
Oh, you know he will.
That's awesome.
If I go,
it'll either be him or your dad. So.
Yep.
That'd be fun.
And I do have to highlight where I was this past weekend. It was my hometown fair at Armada, and we're the second oldest pull in the world. Langford, New York started in 1946. We were 2 years behind them, and Tampico, Indiana is a year behind us. And 3 sessions, 2 on Saturday, 1 on Sunday. Sunday was a total rain out. Just it is what it is. But Saturday, we session 1 had a rain out, or not a rain out, but rain delay, where we fixed the track in about 40 minutes and continued on. And then Saturday night, we had the same sort of situation handled, and none other than Charlie Capozzo, who had pulled Superfire at Bowling Green. They came up for their hometown fair. He jumped on a bulldozer and said, "We're going to fix this track. We're going to pull." So that's what it takes, is guys committed to making a show happen. And the other cool thing that happened Saturday night was Harold Rydall jumped in the seat of their family's light limited super, the 570. Yeah, there's the trackside
Shitter.
The shitter selfie, yes.
Awkward selfie for the win.
Oh, I love you, Charles.
But Harold Rydall jumped in the seat, 82 years old. He didn't drive the 40, which he started pulling in 68. His son Tim did. But he jumped in the seat of the 570, his first hook of this year at 82 years old, and he stomped all over all the boys, and good for him. So that was cool.
Good for you, Harold.
And I drove the tractor too, and it sucked that it was misting. So the class I drove in is the same as what you see here. This is Jared Penzine on their 8000. I drove a Ford 9600, same class I drove in last year. And the rain was spitting. We knew it was coming. And I was last in the class, and Kurt Kalich that's the tractor. That's me at a different event. When Kurt Kalich drove that 8000 and he didn't get the nose up, I said, I'm screwed now. And I launched it, and I should have seen the stars on the wheelie bars. That's how it should have went with that tractor, and it didn't happen. But I had a ball. I'm thankful to Randy Matz and Camilla Matz for letting me drive their tractor. and the cool story is I live 8 miles from that fairgrounds. That tractor was built 7 miles from that fairgrounds here at our assembly factory. And so it's a real special piece to me. I'm thankful for the opportunity to drive it. I think Randy does actually want to sell it, and I am seriously considering the idea of picking that thing up. That would mean a hell of a lot to me. So
you can do it.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
One last thing for you, Jason.
Yeah.
I just shared that.
Okay.
Senior pictures at Wisner are really fun.
Awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's real cool.
You guys do the coolest stuff.
Yeah. So Daly did some senior pictures for Daly, and Lane actually had his first pass last week, Ryan, right?
Yeah.
Like a week ago.
Lane had his first pass, so he'll get to be driving as she's going off to college. So
yeah, there's some more young guns coming up. So
yep. So
nice.
Is she wearing heels and a skirt on the track?
Yep.
That's her senior picture. It's her senior
What's
picture.
What's in her hand?
A helmet.
No purse.
And sparkly.
What's the other?
Sparkly
boots.
Genuine. She was new boot goofing. Genuine rhinestone. 3 payments.
Wow.
You don't know the TikTok?
Yes, I know the I know the TikTok. I'm comprehending.
Even Mama Dez wore them and tried them on and was new boot goofing. So
nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Good work with the placement of the deer emblem in the wheel.
Yep. Tried.
I would have done that all bass backwards, and the deer would have been, paws up.
So all the banners in the background were all muddled together from Friday night. So we had to wait forever, and the guys were like, what are they doing? Because they're up there with the telehandler that Mark was in, trying to re-straighten them all back out and stuff. And so we had to wait forever. I was like, well, we're going to do some other stuff, but yeah.
Speaking of the wheel thing, has anybody heard any update on where Keezer's at? Are they back? Are they coming back?
They're back.
Okay.
They're back.
Good.
Yeah, I got the rims on the back of my tractor, Kaiser. Yep.
Good.
No, that's so cool that we're sharing all this stuff. I like Ryan said, people come up to us all the time, all of us, and say, "Man, we watch you guys every Monday night, and we love it, and it's awesome." And the comments, honestly, the comments for me are what makes it fun. The questions you guys have for the promoters and the pullers and stuff like that. It's been, I really, really appreciate all of that. And then it's cool. It's super cool. So can't be, like Charles said, just very, very thankful that we all get to do this together. So pretty neat. So, okay. Conley Betting test pass. You guys cool?
Push play.
All right. Have a good night, guys.
See you.
Younger brother of Connor Benning and the son of that guy right there, Cliff Benning. Conley's 15 years old and he's making his first ever hook on the Pro Stock. So I witnessed him pulling their hot farm tractor, the Bullfrog Express, I think it's called, or the Bullfrog, yeah, the Bullfrog, in Northern Texas. And they're going to do that. Yep, you stand Conley. Conley's going to pull first, and Taylor's going to make a test pass to figure out if you just do your thing. Pretend I'm not here. Okay, unless the cops are looking for you, because quite a few people watched it. We'll get this going here. So let me know where you're watching from. Let me know if you're coming to Wisner tonight. Show starts at 5 o'clock. I am in the famous trees right now. Year-old Conley Meddy making his first ever test pass on the first time Saturday afternoon. Taylor Van Beek been working on the super stock a little bit, trying to get things figured out. starting line. Like I said, this is the first Kawasaki. Run down into the line here. Hang tight with me, everybody. Taylor's going to make a test pass as well. Taylor's going to make a test pass as well. Mr. Nelson's right there. This is exciting. We got to watch Conley make his first test pass ever on a pro stock here, Wisner, Nebraska. The pool starts at 5 o'clock tonight. You watch an Outlaw Pulling.tv. You can also, if you haven't downloaded the Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling app yet, you put that on there as well. There's the big Dusty. He's going to go run and tell it. So this is Wisner, Nebraska. This is Conley Meddy, 15-year-old Conley Meddy, making his first ever test pass on his dad's big pro stock. One of the most recognized pro stocks out there, the 830. Bought from Lance Little probably 5-6 years ago now. I don't know the exact dates on it. They're from Nordheim, Texas. Full pro stocks with the Outlaws. Connor drives the bull wagon. His dad, Clint, is up there with him right now. Don't leave us after this. Taylor Van Beek's coming up with Extreme Pleasure. They've been trying to get the bugs worked out of the diesel super stock. And then I think the Alice Express light super stock is going to make an exhibition pass, well, test pass. It's cool. You do something like this here in the afternoon. So get the chain tight. It's time to go pulling. So hang tight, everybody. Let's wish Conley Meddy on. First time ever driving a big bad 10,000-pound pro stock. Pretty awesome. 15-year-old Conley Meddy, everybody. Good straight pass. Everything looked good. Life is good. Good flat tire tracks there. Looking good, a little bit of blow by. Conley Meddy, we saw it first. First ever pass on the Big Bad Pro Stock. Now, next up will be Taylor Van Beek on the Diesel Super Stock Extreme Pleasure. I'm going to run back down and get him coming up to the starting line. That's how Don felt the first time he watched you drive your truck.
Yeah, I know.
Super excited. So proud of you. I'm going to jump back in the Kawasaki. Hang with me, everybody. Hang with me. Again, Wisner, Nebraska, Saturday afternoon. Life is good. The weather is stinking beautiful. Couldn't be any better. Well, unless I had $1 billion. Then that's the only way this could be better. The great Jer Center right there. So, on our cruise down here, we're going to get Taylor coming up to the starting line. Some of the fans are already filling in. The pool starts at 5 o'clock there. You get Wisner, Nebraska. This is Thunder by the River. This is a big one. This is absolutely 100% a big event for everybody out there. I'm going to get Thane coming up to the starting line. We had over 200 hooks last night. I think we're on pace again for that again tonight. Again, show starts at 5 o'clock. I know. You need to go down there? Yeah. Take this. Just jump in. Back me down there. I'm going to grab a fire extinguisher. How far we got to go? Down here. Oh, I just want to be somewhere in the middle of the fire extinguisher. Okay. Hopefully I don't need it. Yep. All right, so let's go get Taylor's test pass here. Give me a second. Trying to show you everything I can. Taylor Van Beek, extreme pleasure. Piece of super. Just coughed a little bit. Got on top of that big charger. I don't think he wanted to do that.
So those are some of the test passes. I'm going to show you some of the real quick here before I round it up tonight, but some of our videos from our YouTube page. If you have not subscribed to the Beer Money Pulling Team on YouTube, I would like you to do that very, very much. We have two awesome people putting up great videos daily, and check that out. So I'm going to show some of the videos from our YouTube page from Wisner and some other stuff this weekend. So if you want to hang out, watch some videos, cool. If not, go check it out when you have more time on Facebook. And have a good night, guys. So I'm going to swing this over here. So this is Scott Jensen, American Ethanol truck. Had a really good pass in Wisner, Nebraska, Saturday night, and it was good to see the truck get down the track. So and I should probably show it. That would make more sense. Sorry, guys. Love the cab over. This thing is so cool. He's from Del Rapids, South Dakota, I think, or Madison. I think for the South Dakota pulling fans, they'll get to see him here in Madison in a couple weeks with the Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Association. So if you've seen this truck pulled before, it's very, very, very unique. Very, very unique. Very awesome. There's Trevor Weens in the background. I love his truck. It's got those Traeger racing wheels on the front. Super cool. We've been trying to show these walk-up videos for you fans to see what it looks like. Chandler Pickler made this. He's on our team now. He's making really, really cool videos. Him and Mackenzie Teeding. So we're excited to bring different views to all you pulling fans, and we're putting them on, like I said, up on YouTube. And the Pro Stocks are on the other track. These were the last two classes, I believe, Friday night in Wisner. And Wisner is very, very cool. Everybody needs to go to Wisner once. You need to go to Bowling Green once. Pretty cool. see what else do I want to show you guys. I don't need to do that. See if I can get better at these YouTube things. Bear with me. These are a bunch of YouTube shorts. There's the steam engine. Here's Bulletproof Buck, Clint Medding. I think this is Saturday night in Wisner. Get something? Let me finish up the show. I'm just playing some videos. Clint Medding, everybody, Northern Texas, Bulletproof Buck, Outlaw Pro Stock. These tractors making 3,300 plus horsepower. The 5-inch turbocharger. I want to show you a high strung had a. You guys thought I had a bad night at Wisner? Wait till you see this video. Again, this is on our YouTube page.
Super hot, and all the other batteries were good, so we got a bad battery for sure. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna
He's got his helmet off, he's got his hood back off. Give him a round of applause there, Mr. Bryce Terry. I would say he'll go work on it and be back out tomorrow night, but I'm not sure that's going to be the case. Unless he happens to throw an extra engine in the trailer before he left. Yeah, they're saying there's shrapnel all over the track.
There's no ball scoring there. Nice job.
Well, they'll have a beautiful run. We'll see what we can do it. Ivan Cohan on the court.
Hey, my name is Aaron, founder at Willa, the app that gets creators paid super fast.
Caught at 295. Jim Shuttler's a bird at 267. Randy up his distance, he's a fourth.
Now that tractor has won alcohol point championship before.
Caught at 295. Jim Shuttler's a third at 267. Randy up his distance, he's a fourth. He did get it.
Wow. Ryan Boyd's taking a wild ride there.
Another one of our length troopers that just can't quite get enough weight on the front of him. Like the barn buddy there.
You actually see him moving his arm a little bit, like he hurt his shoulder just a little bit. That was a wild ride there. Pretty hard, more so than the left tire, kind of going left right away. He tried to save it several times. I mean, I don't think there was.
This would have been Iowa State Fair, everybody. The crowd was a little lighter on Tuesday, the first day, so I'm looking, because it was completely full on Wednesday, the second day, so I'm guessing this was day 2, day 1. So we got some GoPros on Doug Sabatka's Let's Go Pro Stock, so pretty cool. Enjoy this video. Are you looking to build your brand's social media presence? Target new customers while increasing your sales and awareness? As a longtime truck and tractor and the owner of the Beer Money Pulling my goal is to put more eyeballs on the sport, truck and tractor, and grow the sport through our social media and mobile. Starting in 2012 and now amassing over 1.3 million followers across Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. We use our daily social media content to continue to grow the sport of truck and tractor while growing our team standards. Truck and tractor pulling started in the 1950s and is known as the world's heaviest motorsport. The goal of truck and tractor is to determine the strongest machine and the best driver which driver can drive 30,000 pounds. This sport draws between 5 to 20,000 in person, thousands more. Between our weekly Facebook that draw an average of 30,000 viewers and our daily posts that have reached over 43 million people, I want to personally help you reach our highly engaged audience and tap into the largest social media following in the sport of truck and tractor. We have sponsorship opportunities with a wide range of options that can meet your brand's goals and a full-time social media coordinator who's responsible for making sure your brand content is posted accurately. If you're watching this video and you're looking for an opportunity to reach the everyday American, give me a call. 608-604-5068.